Hare Krishna. So, His Grace Bhima Prabhu will begin today's session by talking about the 4 laws of book distribution, after which Sri Ram Prabhu will talk about monthly Sankirtan festival, and Shri Krishna Purshotam Prabhu will demonstrate how to distribute books, how to distribute books on the merit of the book. And then we will have a practical demonstration of how to distribute books. And after that, our 2 Prabhus, they have suggested that we go out for half an hour today evening. We learn something and we go and immediately try and apply it. So we've decided to go to Juhu Beach, since it's close by. This seminar should conclude by 7 o'clock. Maharaj's Katha usually doesn't start before 7:30, 7:45. We'll go for half an hour and come back. So we will all be able to apply practically whatever they teach us today. And tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon, we have again planned a 2-hour book distribution session, wherein again our 2 Prabhujis will be with us and demonstrate us again how on the streets we can distribute books. So we plan to leave at 4 p.m. tomorrow and be back by 6 p.m. So those devotees who wish to come, they can contact me after the seminar. Hare Krishna.
So I've been requested to do the first part of the seminar. So here we have a quote from Kushagrada Prabhu's glorification of Srila Prabhupada. Seeing the fierce army of illusions put forward by the forces of Kali Yuga, Srila Prabhupada has released an unlimited shower of powerful arrows in the form of his books. So out of the 7 purposes of ISKCON, the 7th one is with a view towards achieving aforementioned purposes, all the other 6 purposes of ISKCON, to publish and distribute periodicals, magazines, books, and other writings. So there's n number of quotes how Srila Prabhupada has described that this distribution, sale and distribution of books is our main activity. Everything else there is to support this activity. And it's a very practical thing, because by this distribution and sale of books, people are introduced to Krishna consciousness. The devotees that are distributing the books are benefited. The persons that receive the books are benefited. It's a reciprocal arrangement. One of the very interesting things that Vaisheshika Prabhu brings up in his Our Family Business, which is a very wonderful book about our family business, which is book distribution, is that just as in the Vedic times, you know, the students would go to the house of the spiritual master, and then they would assist the spiritual master in Vedic yajnas. And this is such an important thing that there's a Vedic mantra that one must carry wood. One must carry wood. And we see that Lord Krishna, he even did that. He went to the house of Sandipani Muni, and he and his friend Sudama Vipra went to the forest. And what did they do? They collected wood. They were collecting wood for the Vedic sacrifice of the spiritual master. And there was a storm, and, you know, the story that's there in the Krishna book. So this is such an important aspect of menial service to the spiritual master. The student brings the wood for the Vedic sacrifices. And by the yajna, we understand from Bhagavad Gita, all things will be attained by the yajna. Rain, sufficient rainfall. Rain comes grains by the yajna. So yajna is very important. But in this day and age, that same activity can be performed by carrying Srila Prabhupada's books. What are books made out of? Paper. What is paper made out of? We're following the Vedic injunction of carrying wood in the service of the spiritual master. It's for this age. It's for this time. And it's the same ancient, old process of yajna, Sankirtan yajna. So, Vaisheshika Prabhu has given us the 4 laws of book distribution. And they're rules that are just very, very important for book distribution to go on. And they are: sadhana must be strong, you must get the books, the more you show, the more you sell, you must organize. So there are so many different aspects of why your sadhana should be strong in order to be successful at book distribution. But basically, sadhana should be very strict, sincere, and serious. Srila Prabhupada has written various letters to the devotees that in order to be successful, one has to have strict sadhana, sincere sadhana, strong sadhana. Basically, this strict sadhana, strong sadhana, serious sadhana, that will give us the empowerment to go out and distribute books. And any kind of preaching, the more one focuses on Krishna, the more one will be able to, have the empowerment to convince other people about Krishna. Without that strict sadhana, there won't be any Shakti. There's a saying that wherever your attention goes, energy flows. So if we focus on Krishna, then we'll have the Krishna Shakti. As in Chaitanya Charitamrita it's mentioned, Bina Krishna Shakti Nahitar Pravartana. No one can spread the Krishna consciousness unless they're empowered by Krishna. So how to become empowered by Krishna? And that's through sadhana. In Chaitanya Charitamrita there's a nice verse. This is from the Madhya Lila, chapter 25, text 278. Men become strong and stout by eating sufficient grains. But the devotee who simply eats ordinary grains but does not taste the transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna gradually becomes weak and falls down from the transcendental position. However, if one drinks but a drop of the nectar of Krishna's pastimes, his body and mind begin to bloom and he begins to laugh, sing, and dance. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, all the devotees connected with the Krishna consciousness movement must read all the books that have been translated. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and others. Otherwise, after some time, they will simply eat, sleep, and fall down from their position. Thus, they will miss the opportunity to obtain an eternal, blissful life of transcendental pleasure. We can see how important, then, it is to have good sadhana. It's not just a matter of being empowered to preach, but just sticking around in Krishna consciousness. If you don't have good sadhana, even that won't happen. So, strict sadhana. Attentiveness to chanting. That's the instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion, is to always remember Krishna and subsequently never forget Krishna. These are the two main instructions. Everything is boiled down to that. The whole Nectar of Devotion, all the 6 Goswamis' literature, they all culminate in these two instructions. One, always think of Krishna, never forget Krishna. So what's the best way to think of Krishna? Chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare attentive chanting, attentive chanting. And then it's elaborated a little bit more, the 5 most important things from devotional service. What are they? Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy name, associating with devotees, worshipping the deity, living in a sacred place, like Juhu. No, why are you laughing? Shri Shri Radha Rasmi Hari Mandir. It's a sacred place. It's established by Srila Prabhupada. These 4 acres of land are not part of the Bombay Municipal Corporation, spiritually speaking. Right? It's a different world. It's dedicated to Krishna Seva and a love for Krishna. People dance here like in the spiritual world. Every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Haven't you seen devotees walking down the halls and chanting the holy name of the Lord ecstatically? It's a different place. So it's not living in the material world. It's not so much, you can even be in Vrindavan. You can be in the association of your spiritual master and be in total Maya. It's not where your body is physically located. It's where your consciousness is situated. So strict sadhana, chanting the holy name, worshiping the deity, associating with devotees, worshiping Tulsi Devi, these transport our consciousness to the spiritual realm. Now the benefit is that, of course, we'll be able to be long-term in Krishna consciousness. And the other is that the overflow, I think we covered some of these, the taste that we get from performing strong sadhana will be able to help other people. And this is especially important in distributing books. We have these egos, false egos. Maybe you don't have, but I have a very big one. And the ego gets in the way of our devotional service. So through strict sadhana, attentive chanting, rendering strong devotional service, our ego doesn't get in the way of our devotional service. And in book distribution, it's very important that one becomes humble. Vaisheshika Prabhu gives the example. He met these 2 people and he gave them a book. He tells the story that as soon as he gave them the book, they said, "No, we're Christians. We don't want this, we're Christians." And he said, very humbly and very spontaneously, "Oh, that's very nice. I'm really appreciative that you took the time to stop today, and I'm very happy to have met you." That's all he said. And they went away. And after 15 minutes, they came back and they said, "Here, please take this $15 donation." And he said, "Why?" He said, "No," the Christian guy said, "because your attitude was so humble, we just felt we had to give this money." And he said, "Well, I'll take it under one condition." And they said, "What's that?" And he said, "That you take a book." So they thought for a second, and they said, "Okay." So this developing humility, it only can happen by having strong sadhana, by genuinely having a taste for the holy name of the Lord, a taste for hearing the nectar that comes from the message of the personality of Godhead. And from that overflow, that'll help us to distribute books. It'll help us to leave an impression in the minds of the people that we meet out on Sankirtan. This is called Chad, chapter a day. A lot of devotees have taken or made a determination that every day they'll chant one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And this is a very potent practice. It allows the devotee to come every day in contact with the words of Krishna. And one feels a very personal kind of energy from that regular practice. And devotees that do this every day, they read one chapter, either the shloka, they read the shloka and they read the translation, they find that it's extremely helpful in their devotional activities, whatever it is, going out, meeting the public, or even in whatever practices that they have in the temple. It's called the Chapter a Day Club. Read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day. Please encourage the others to read this Bhagavad Gita at least one chapter every day. That's a letter to Upendra way back in 1969. So this is authorized by Srila Prabhupada, and the devotees that do it, they feel they've kind of formed a club, you know, other devotees that chant and take advantage of this very important practice. Bhagavad Gita as it is should be read by all of my students at least one chapter per day. Join Chad. Anybody who's interested to become a member of the Bhagavad Gita Club, reading one chapter a day, they can sign up with Sri Ram Das. He'll take your registration for the Chad Club. One interesting thing that they put together in ISKCON Silicon Valley is Become a Sage page by page. They've made a chart whereby which you can read a certain number of pages and finish the books. Like Ishopanishad, if you read 5 pages a day, you can finish it in 1 month. And let's see, Bhagavad Gita, 29 pages you can finish in 1 month. And Srimad Bhagavatam, if you chant just 40 pages a day, if you read 40 pages a day, you can finish the Bhagavatam in 1 year. So it's like a goal. It's like setting a goal. It's like setting a determination. And if you want to be successful in anything, it's good to have goals in order to, be successful. Practices. If somebody wants to be a good guitar player or drum player, you have to practice. If you don't practice, then it'll be very difficult to be accomplished at that. So practice on a regular basis is very important. How much time have we got left? I'm getting the hook here. Okay. So I'll wind up now. Bruce Lee said that I'm not afraid of a person. You know Bruce Lee? Anybody here? Oh, you got one guy back there. Come on, don't be afraid. You can raise your hand if you know Bruce Lee. Famous karate expert. He made so many movies. Bruce Lee, all right? So he said, I'm not afraid of a person that has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I'm very afraid of a person who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. So practice at something, practice makes perfect. And therefore, this becomes a practice. It becomes a goal. And by this practice and by this goal, it becomes conducive to developing our bhakti. And if we have genuine bhakti, that will be the only thing that we need to be happy in life and be able to convince others to take up the process of bhakti. Now, so that's sadhana. The other point is get the books. You have to have the books in order to distribute them, right? And in our temple, we have an old culture of having the books available, right? We have the Sankirtan office, books there, but in a lot of centers, they don't have a Sankirtan office. They don't even have a book room. So they need to organize that. But on an individual level, get the book means that whenever you go out, wherever you go, you always have a book available. because you never know when you're going to meet that person who's ready to get one of Srila Prabhupada's books. So having the books is the next second most thing besides strict sadhana, is get the books. Have the books available. Have them with you. Even if you're going out shopping, you're going to Vasi to buy vegetables, you should have a book in case you meet somebody that's interested. You can't distribute books that you don't have. There's a story about, that somebody went to the seminar and they saw this and they thought, okay, let's start keeping the books. So these two friends, they said, all right, we'll keep a box of books in our car. And then a week later, they went to a program, and there's a very rich man's house, and all of a sudden he announced, the devotees from the temple came, it was a house program. The guy said, I want to give all of my friends here at this program a book. But the devotees from the temple didn't bring any books. But these two fellows that had come, they had out in their car a box of books. So they immediately went out to the car, got the books and gave them to the man. And he gave him a $1,000 check. So they could, distribute the books to his guests that had come to the thing, and they turned in the check to the temple. So get the books, have the books available. This is an important principle for any kind of selling. The more you show, the more you sell, right? And this is a basic advertising principle. That's why, you have millions of billboards all over Bombay. People are showing their product. So the same thing in book distribution. The more you show, the more you sell. The more people see the books, the more they'll be apt to take them. And so in book distribution, you let them see the book, right? Put it in their hand, show it to them. And in this way, more books can be sold. I'm just rushing up here a little bit. Here's a picture of Vaisheshika Prabhu showing the books, right? One of the things is, we have the books at the table, and that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is putting the books in their hands. That they've been doing in the West since, the day one when they started selling books. Put it in their hand, right? In India, when I came to India, the system was that you had the books on the table and you called people over to the table and show them the books. Well, whatever works, right? Putting it in their hand, having a table that they can come over to, but the principle remains the same. They have to see the books, right? And the more they see the books, the more they'll be thinking about the books, and they'll be apt to take the books. This is something that's been started in America. It's called smart tables, boxes of books. And, people get the idea. They can take a book, they can put the money here. You don't even need a salesman, right? They just see the book, take the book out, stuff the money in there, right? This is something that maybe we could start with our life membership program. Our life members have so many shops and business establishments where people come, and they could have a smart box there. A few books, everything's self-explanatory. People can take a book, put the money in. All we have to do is go back and collect the money and put more books. This is something they do in America, and it's very successful. How much do you do every month in ISV with that? $1,200, okay? So there's one program that we could also start establishing. Events, okay? Rathayatras, book distribution. It's a very good time to distribute books. They call it Shastradhan, we call it Vidyadhan. I want that every respectable person has a full set of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita in their home. We have a lot to do. This is the installation program. People can get a set of Bhagavatam, and the devotees go to their home and install the Bhagavatam in their home. These books are deities, Shabda Brahman. They're non-different from the Supreme Lord. So they can be installed in a person's home. We were talking about that today in the heads of the department meeting. Narahari Prabhu and some of the other devotees are going to start seeing how we can institute this program, go into a person's home, installing, and he'll invite his friends, will install the Srimad Bhagavatam and talk about the glories of the Bhagavatam, and then their friends can be inclined to also take Srimad Bhagavatam and have an installation in their home. So fourthly, we have to organize, and the organization comes on different levels. The more a thing is organized, the better it can work. And we've been talking about some different programs that we can organize here in Bombay. One of the upcoming program is the Bhadra Purnima, and we're doing a little brainstorming about how to organize that in such a way where we can sell more sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. So everything requires organization. Any endeavor, you have to be organized. If not, you can't get anything done. You know, if the book room's closed, you don't know where the key is. You know, the guy went out on yatra who's got the key. How will you go out and distribute any books? So organization is a very important part of book distribution. And in order to have a good, organized effort to distribute books, it requires cooperation. Cooperation is the brother of organization. So when devotees cooperate with each other, and that's all that Krishna actually wants to see, is that the devotees are cooperating together in his service. The Prachetas were so successful at the chanting the prayers of Lord Shiva that the Lord personally came and gave his darshan. Now, why did he do that? Because they were really good chanters? No. Because they were cooperating with each other. You know, nowadays, brothers don't cooperate, they fight, right? Because that's a symptom of Kali Yuga. India used to be based on the united family, right? But where is that today, right? There's no united family. As soon as there's fighting, there's bickering, that's the nature of Kali Yuga. But when Krishna sees that the devotees are working together, cooperating together, it pleases him. In fact, that's all he wants to see. And as soon as he sees that, he benedicts the devotees with Krishna Bhakti. So in order to do that, to work cooperatively, we need some organization. Srila Prabhupada started this International Society for Krishna Consciousness specifically for that purpose, so the persons can come together, cooperate together for the pleasure of Krishna. And if we do that in connection with book distribution, then we can increase the number of books that we distribute and also attract the mercy of Krishna by that cooperation. Hare Krishna. So next we'd like to invite Sri Ram Prabhu, or Hare Krishna.
Thank Bhima Prabhu for the wonderful insights and his lifetime experience on book distribution. He's been distributing books from day one in ISKCON. He's man of the books. So we will have two aspects in the seminar today. The one is the monthly Sankirtan festival. It's basically a program been designed especially for devotees, congregation members and temple devotees can go out every month and distribute. And after that we'll have a street Sankirtan seminar, like what are the challenges we face when we go out and distribute books on streets. We'll have a practical demonstration how we can distribute Gita. Like every one of us will do it here in the hall. So we'll have a monthly Sankirtan festival by Krishna Purshotam Prabhu now. He's a Sankirtan leader in ISKCON Silicon Valley. From last 2 years, they are the top one book distribution temple in North America. They have different projects, and they're mainly doing a lot of Srimad Bhagavatam sets door to door. So he will talk about monthly Sankirtan festival now. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So can any remember the 4 laws of book distribution? First law, Mataji. Jai. Second law. Get books. Everybody say get books. Third law of book distribution. Jai. The fourth law. Jai. What is the third law of book distribution? The more you show, the more you sell. So any time in the night, if you remember, you should get these 4 laws. It's very important when you actually go and distribute books, you will know the challenges. Like when we go out, sometimes we take English Bhagavad Gita, they say, can I get Hindi or can I get Marathi? So we should all, when you say get books, we should have all the books with us, most of the things. So in Bombay is multi-city, you know. So these 4 laws are very important when person goes and distribute books. So when you go out in MS of these things, you will really experience that what is the importance of these 4 laws. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu, for the opportunity today. So, as Sri Ram Prabhu mentioned, that we do this monthly Sankirtan festival. How many of you do know this monthly Sankirtan festival? Raise your hands. Okay, yeah, very nice. So, I just go very quickly, and Bhima Prabhu rightly mentioned the insights, how this Bhagavad, like 4 laws of book distribution is there. So the mission and vision and the Sankirtan spots, and then I cover what are the infrastructure required and some of the tips. And the most important part is, at the end we talk about how to sell Bhagavad Gita by his merit. And Bhagavad Gita itself, you can sell it by showing the pictures. We'll show a practical demo, and Sri Ram Prabhu will talk about the state Sankirtan. So, if money back guarantee, if you don't, if you follow these principles, you can sell anywhere in the world. I distributed here, I distributed in Tirupati, I distributed in Europe. You know, we travel all the time, but people are the people. You know, you can distribute anywhere in the world. You just need to go out and present yourself. So let's go on to it. So we have Sankirtan leaders, and these are the little, you know, in detail. But so our goal is not to distribute today. We just go out and touch the payment and come back. You know, everybody, they have a, Vaisheshika Prabhu says, there is a remote button here. You turn it off and you just go out. Means we are like, you know, puppets in the Krishna's hand. We are not doing the Sankirtan. Krishna is doing, you know, so we are just like acting as instruments on his hands. Like we are, like Krishna is also Bhavagrahi Janardana. His is the essence. So book distribution is high sadhana and always better service. Everybody doing a little bit, you know, that everything is counts. It's very fun and easy. When you go out and book distribution, you meet many kinds of people. So one time I knock a door, and if they are from Indian origin, of course here most of them Indians, but in Western world you see a foreigner or Western person, we say Hare Krishna, or we are from a yoga center. We are doing a community welfare program today, and we need to change accordingly. If you go to Juhu beach here, you see some Russian person. So you ask them, where are you from? And then they'll say, I'm from Russia. So okay, in Moscow we have 8,000 devotees or 80,000 devotees. So if you can connect with them in any of their place, or you know, their food, their culture, then it's most likely they talk to you. You know, for example, if I see from Maharashtra, I say, which part of Maharashtra, Prabhu, are you from? Are you from Maharashtra?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
From UP.
UP. So you know Vrindavan? So he's already smiling. So when you say and you connect with them, then they will be happy. If I see a person from Andhra Pradesh, I say, where are you from? Andhra. Okay. Do you know Tirupati Balaji? Oh, they'll be very happy. Just to hear the names, and they will be comfortable talking to you on the street. So it's a teamwork. Also, we go as a with all the team members. We have people making the MSF lunches for us. Afternoon we go whole day from morning 10 to evening 6-7 o'clock sometimes. So we have MSF lunches, cookies, Purshotam. There is also logistics, taking books to the spots, and we go as a team. So everything is by teamwork, and it's also start small and grow. So earlier we used to do a small books, very very tiny Ishopanishad, Perfection of Yoga, those kinds of books, and now we distributing Srimad Bhagavatam sets and Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. Last year, door to door, we distributed 432 Srimad Bhagavatam sets, just by door to door. So it's a thank you. So tips and ideas to ponder. We always pick for the ripe fruits. If you're going on a street, so don't argue. There are maybe many people, and billions of people we can cover. So just don't waste time. If somebody says, okay, we are not interested, that's okay. But just look for a ripe fruit. Ripe means if you talk to them, if you smile at them, they will smile back. We have that personal connection when you deal with them. So you see here, this person is a ripe fruit in New York Radha Yatra. He's waving the hand, he's also waving back. So he's an unripe fruit. He's a ripe and he's unripe. Ripe and unripe. So he's arguing. So don't waste time. So we have, as I said, we have many things, many people you can meet and you can distribute. So core and explore. So 80% and 20%, when you explore the things, the book distribution will expand. And always our prime directive is leave a good impression. If they see Hare Krishna and you are representing Srila Prabhupada, means they should always, these people are coming and selling books. No, we are not. We are giving Krishna to them in the form of the books. So you should always leave a good impression and they will come back. I can tell an example. One time we are going door to door in a particular apartment complex. First time we went, we gave him the Bhagavad Gita. And then next time we went, he asked, what you got this time for us? Same person, he is living in the community. Said, this time we got Srimad Bhagavatam. Next year again we went. He asked, this time what you got? I told him personally, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, fourth time we got Gaur-Nitya deities. Fifth time we got initiation. So the Prabhupada books are so powerful, and Bhima Prabhu can tell many stories how Srila Prabhupada disciples, including everybody here, somehow they're connected to Srila Prabhupada books. So ambassador of goodwill. So Srila Prabhupada is ambassador of goodwill. We are in the business of service, and book distribution makes you very very humble. Because when you do Sankirtan, you'll be you'll be very very humble, because we are in service mode, and we should sometimes we go and quote the shlokas. Everything will be all right, but our Prabhupada says, hook or crook, distribute books. So just go and depend on Krishna. So as I said, always in better service. Our mood is we are. Can you say? Repeat. Krishna. We are Krishna's instruments. We remain humble and hungry. Our mood is. So we go out for self-purification. So our mood is do service for the service sake. So I save one soul at a time, beginning with myself. So this is an example in the airport. They ask you to put first and then you save others, like that. So we have to read Srila Prabhupada books and we save ourselves and that's the overflow which Bhima Prabhu spoke about. Leave everyone with a good impression. Treat people with respect. So leave everyone with, again, it's a offer a kind words. So it's again a focus on the teamwork. So preaching means giving. Don't be Yeah. So everybody should leave a good impression. Express empathy. So practice reflective listening. So this is few make people special they are, and like that. So this is a few slides Sriram Prabhu put together. They have in Juhu the Sankirtan happened last time. How to sell book on its own merit. So this is very, very important. If you can practice this every day or every week, even if you do 10 minutes. One time I'm going to see my friend in San Francisco. I was holding Bhagavad Gita. I didn't do anything. So I'm to catch a train there. So holding, and one lady, she missed the train. I also missed my train. She's around 60 years plus. And she came to me and said, can you give a ride to me? I said, yeah, of course I can give a ride. I was thinking in my mind, I have 45 minutes to sell this Bhagavad Gita. So anyway, I took her and we are driving together, and I showed this book. And I asked her, there are many people in the railway station, why did you ask me to give a ride? Then she said, you are holding a yoga book or Bhagavad Gita, you are a good person, that's why I came to and ask you. So these things, when you carry just simply Srila Prabhupada Gita in your hand, you can connect people. You no need to ask them, they will come to you. That's Bhima Prabhu mentioned about sadhana, right? So you do a strict sadhana, the Krishna will connect to you back. So today we will speak about how to sell a Bhagavad Gita. So this is a Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. There is sufficient merit in our books that if you simply describe them sincerely to anyone, they will buy. So today we will just discuss radar, qualify, trust the hand, give a nutshell presentation, show and tell, compliment, and humor. So you see, maybe it's not there in Prabhu. Is there in India? So
Rarely on the expressway.
Oh, on the expressway, there is a shooting gun. How much speed you are going, the cop is shooting. So everybody have this radar thing. So for example, we have this hand here. So if in India everybody say hello like that, right? So like you say like Hare Krishna. He's smiling all that. Hare Krishna. So everybody have this radar thing, and everybody have this power. Hare Krishna. So you can stop people, hi, hello, and in Western world we just say hi, hello, Hare Krishna, like that. So everybody have this power in your hands by just shooting the radar thing. So if you can turn to next person, can you say hi or Hare Krishna? Mataji, you can say to next person. Say Hare Krishna, Prabhus, please. Just say to one person. See, the energy becomes so positive. So like that. So qualify. So where are you from? Calcutta. Oh, Gaudiya Desh. We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas.
In the same way, you can understand who's the Paka Am and who's the Kacha Am. Because there's some people that if you want to say hello and hi, go like that. Or if you're like this and they're like this. So you know automatically, well, this guy's Kacha. Don't waste my time, right?
Yes.
So you're looking for the person that you go like this, and they also go like this. So this person is receptive, somebody that can, possibly take a book. So that way, the radar is there, and you can find out who's going to be receptive.
Thank you. So how to qualify is by asking a question. Question is very important to stop people. Like you are in street, said, are you from UP? Prabhu, are you from where? Maharashtra. Oh, you know Sant Tukaram? Yes. Jnaneshwar? Muktabai? Haribol, he knows everybody. Where are you from, Mataji? Pavali, Hare Krishna. So people, you just connect, qualify. So if they see a person, if go to office, right, they're going to work, you stop them, people. Are you from this area? If they say yes or no, we'll simply talk. It just is like way of connecting to them. So if first person doesn't take book, if he doesn't take a book, is auspicious. if he takes a book, it's more auspicious. So don't worry. So trust the hand. So always you say, first you say, see, automatically his hand is coming. So did I say anything? You just trust the hand. So that hand is meant for that. It will just go automatically like that. So you see in this, we have a Walmart, like a shopping malls in the grocery stores or like a departmental stores. We put a book table. Even without asking, we just showing the Bhagavad Gita, she's able to take the book. So mantra is books on yoga meditation that show you how to get free from stress. Please repeat after me. Books on yoga and meditation that show you how to get free from stress. Please repeat after. You can say no. Excellent. Thank you. So, have you heard stress before? Who doesn't have stress? Raise your hands. Of course, everybody has stress. So really, you look spiritual. Or you look spiritual? If you ask somebody like this, they'll be very happy. Like, one time I was asking one lady, are you from a good family? Yeah, of course, I'm from a good family. So it's like, giving a compliment. Some people doesn't like it. Even they doesn't like it, we just simply change the thing. So in the streets, it will be like, also they are always thinking something else. They got busy with the work and they're thinking and they're going home. If you compliment something, they'll be happy. So looks very spiritual, Prabhu. So he's laughing. So like that, when you say a compliment to anybody, it can be a good compliment, but we are just doing to making happy. To ultimately will take Bhagavad Gita. So what's your secret? So what's your secret? You looks very happy. Huh? Oh, so after joining ISKCON, some people say I'm happy because of my wife. Some people say I'm happy because of my dog. So it's okay. We also ask, what's your name of your dog when they are going with the dog? And they will be happy to tell their dog name. Of course, it's a Western culture. But here, you can ask, what's your pet name or, something like that. What's your secret? Take the book back. At the time, the book is in your hand. So you have to take the book back. And here, I will show you really quick. So, Prabhu, can you please come here? So here the name dropping, which is unfortunately in this our Bhagavad Gitas we don't have this. Can you hold this? Yes. So anyway, we can tell this kind of people who read the Bhagavad Gita, Mr. Thoreau, Gandhi, Emerson, Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Einstein, Beatles. So you can emphasize Mahatma Gandhi used to read Bhagavad Gita. So show and tell. Can you read this? Means not devotees, who came for the first time. Anybody here for the first time? Okay, thank you. Can you read Sanskrit? Yes, Haribol. So people don't know Devanagari. He said, Sanskrit, I was just testing you. If they says, generally people say, I don't know Sanskrit. So you said, even I don't know Sanskrit, but I can read English. So the short, this has been translated into 400 times, means over 400 times. I always tell this Bhagavad Gita is translated into 400 languages. So recently I found out there are 35 editions of Bhagavad Gitas. So only Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita, somebody came and told Srila Prabhupada that there are 35 editions, but I read Sripad Ramanujacharya's and your Bhagavad Gita, both are same. And Srila Prabhupada said, it took as a compliment. And he said that, this is even Sripad Ramanujacharya wrote as a similar translation. So out of all the translations, this is the most popular in the universe. So here the endorsements. Prabhu, can you open the first page? So when you tell the people, somebody is asking this morning how to tell the Western people, because the Indians, we are following the West. This book is there in academic book, is University of Southern California, Georgetown University, and there are multiple universities you can look up on the first page. So this is University of Southern California, Georgetown University. They can mention that. So see, we are just passing through. We are in all this. So usually this is a joke we say, don't test with the old people. Sometimes they say, oh, I cannot tell, because they are old, right? So we are passing by in this cycle, and where are you in this cycle? Where? Can you show? I think you are here. I'm just kidding. So you can make them happy, just by, some people will be happy when they say you are young, like. Show and tell, and you can show like the Krishna is in everyone's heart, Krishna is in the dog's, in cow's heart, and like you can show and tell. That's there in the Bhagavad Gita. So a self-realized person treats everyone with the respect because he or she sees God's or spirit within everyone's heart. So have you heard about karma before?
Yes.
What is mean by karma?
Karma is if you do good, you get something back, or if you do something bad, you have to face the reactions.
Wow, he's a philosopher. Great. So see, whatever they say, some people say karma is, some hi-fi philosophy, coming back, going back, this and that. But whatever they say, you make them happy, like this. So you say, wow, what a great explanation. So what's mean a karma, Prabhu?
Yeah, what you say.
You say what?
Getting the results of what you do.
Wow, what a great explanation. So you ask me, or I ask you. What's okay? Somebody asked me.
What is karma?
Karma means something coming around, going around, some universe coming here behind and back. I'm not satisfied. One more time. You should be very enthusiasm. You should.
Please tell me what is karma?
Karma means what comes around, what goes around.
Explain. It is good in function.
It's like, some karma is coming behind and back. The universe is, coming all around you. Is that okay? No, you should say, wow, what a great explanation. So try one more time. Until you say, wow, I don't leave you. Karma means what comes around, what goes around.
Why?
No, give a big round for them. So that's the compliment part. When you say wow, then immediately this is Vaisheshika Prabhu's typical. The more people in the world thought like you, the world would be a better place to live. So this is a very good word. And if you open the Bhagavad Gita, you see the cow killing the man and man killing the cow. So that's like karma example. Generosity breeds generosity. So this is a typical one more make them feel happy. So we have 5 senses: eyes, nose, ear, tongue, and ears. And also this is a yoga picture. And the humor part, you ask, what do you professionally? What do you do professionally? Student. Okay. And they say student, or they say civil engineer, and they say I'm a Sunday school teacher, and they say I'm a dancer. Now you say really? This guy used to be a student. So that's a humor part. So you say one more time. I say, what's your profession, Prabhu? Anybody software engineers here? Okay. Where do you work? Where do you work? Yes. NEC. This guy is the CEO of NEC. So like you make them happy. So whatever they say, okay, a student, right? This guy is a biology teacher. So like that you make them happy. Just this should be very quick, and these all mantras and tips we are just sharing, but this should act dynamically. I will show you practical examples how you can sell today. And this is a humor part. And you say, really? This guy is a Sunday school teacher. And then again you say, really? This guy is a dancer. And then as soon as they say, I give the book back to him like this. What's your profession?
I work in ISKCON.
ISKCON? This guy used to work in ISKCON too. So like that, and then I give the book. So engage. So we don't sell this book like a bookstore. We just ask for a small donation. So this is not like a bookstore selling, but these books cost $10 or 120 rupees to print. Whatever you give more, it goes as donation to the temple. So like that. So we don't need the money. The only reason we ask is that it's an ancient tradition when you give something in return for a spiritual knowledge. And it connects you to the previous teachers who have passed it down over many generations and allows you to enter deeply within the knowledge. So you don't need, if this is too long for you, you can say this book costs $10 to print, and we are ISKCON is a non-profit organization. Whatever you give more, it goes as donation. Because as soon as this connection happened and you already spoke, you make him laugh and he is ready to give the donation. And you should already put the book in his hand. So it costs $10 to print and ship. Anything you give over that is a donation. So here are the learned few comebacks. They say, I already know all about this, now use it. I am then I'll show you this one. So I am a Christian, I am a Muslim. So if you say, what's your religion?
I am Hindu.
Hindu? Okay, this is a Hindu book. Like that, if it's a Christian, we'll take other book, and this is a Christian book. Usually people don't know, there are perfection of yoga, science of self-realizations. It doesn't matter, they you want to imitate. So this is a Muslim book, I say give higher taste book. And people we need to also connect as much. If they say immediately, you should give other book like that. So that's what it says. Are you selling this? Please. How much should I donate?
We try to keep it under $100.
But in case we are thinking, make an exception. That means you can give more. So at that time, so they pass the donation, and then, do you believe in power of prayer? Do you believe in power of prayer? Yes. So now you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So now Prashadam part, and actually Narottam Prabhu said you are getting cookies, or you can give khichdi, whatever you have, Prashadam, try Prashadam, because you go out on the Sankirtan. So, and also take their information, put it into the temple database, they get emails, newsletters and everything. So now, thank you for taking your valuable time, and it's a pleasure meeting you. Hare Krishna. So now, our prime directive is leave everywhere with a good impression. So now, summary, 4 legacy, 4 laws of book distribution and monthly Sankirtan festival. So now, if you, Sriram Prabhu, you want to give a little hints for street Sankirtan, then before you go to street Sankirtan, anybody have any questions? Please feel free to ask. We'll go to practical session. If you don't have any sessions, that means you are great in book distribution. Prabhu having one question.
At one place, you can repeat that. Yeah. At one place in which the mood is we should be humble and hungry. So what is hungry?
Hungry to distribute books. So if you are in that mode, then then you can distribute more. Not the Prashadam hungry. Yes, no problem.
In one of the slides you mentioned about keeping a box and then books nearby.
Right.
And they drop donation automatically.
Right.
The Indians already ask for gives us free, gives us 10 rupees, 20 rupees in Bhagavad Gita. So what is the possibility of that method working in India? Smart box that way.
Well, it hasn't been tried, so we just have to see. Well, it's an experimentation.
Yeah, I think At least in few areas it will definitely work out. In few areas it may not work out. But we need to try. It's a good point. A lot of people say they take away, but nowadays that culture is gone. There is more maturity and things are improving. So we need to try.
So actually you can put in these yoga centers, other meditation places. People are wandering here and there like airports. If we request them to keep it, they will definitely take it. We in our temple we have 95 smart boxes all over across the Bay Area. It's called. So in each and every store, we put in barber store. So people will just taking shaving there. They can read Prabhupada books and they drop the money. You can put any grocery stores. Indian people, they will keep next to the cash counter, and usually we make good relationship with the shopkeepers. We give a Janmashtami Prashadam, or we give the calendars to them so that they will be connect with you more often. So I will give it to Sriram Prabhu. So after this, please stay here. The very important aspect is have this practical session so that you can be very confident to go out on Sankirtan. So everybody are confident, raise your hands. You're still not confident, we can go. I can take you out. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. I'll not take more time because we like to see the practical session. Just few things, because when we go out for book distribution, there is a lot of fears from devotees that what are the challenges we face. The thing is, as you just summarize the whole thing, why we are going for book distribution? Self-purification. The first law is we are trying to go out not to sell something. We are not salespeople. The main intention of going out is self-purification. So if we have that same mood, the reason why we go out, we should have that continuously same mood so that it's easy for us to handle anything. So normally when we go out, we do a prayer to Nrsingadev, or any prayer, we come together and pray, and we go to a place, we pick a place. So we normally pick place where it's easy to talk to people. It's very important that a lot of people are selling things. They're selling so many things. They're selling washing machines, they're selling on the streets, correct? They're selling bags and all that. We are not considered as salespeople, correct? We are salespeople for Prabhupada, correct? What we are trying to do there, we are trying to give Krishna through books. It's very important that we should have this mood. We are not like, Prabhu, I will try to do 100 books today. That's my mood. If you have that, Krishna will crush you. So have this mood that I'm going to just to for my own self-purification. So you pick a place like some people likes to be in very hurry place, like we can do more books. Some people likes to be like talkative, right? So pick a place where according to your mood, according to your consciousness, right? Typically I try to spend time with people, like a stall where we can talk to people, right? Like pick a place, like when you go out, it's very important. I see in India, like we always go and say just Bhagavad Gita. We say this, right? So it's very important also, first you develop that communication with other person. So don't say that, okay, he's trying to, somebody is coming out from a mall, if they see you, okay, he's trying to sell something to me. They will be out, they'll be going other side, correct? We normally see this, right? So first develop, oh, I'm Hare Krishna, I'm coming from ISKCON Juhu, we have wonderful festival on Sunday, Narshing Chaturdasi, I'm just here to invite you. So develop that one, you're not a strange person, you are a part of society. If you can develop that trust, he will definitely take it. Normal people don't take books not because they don't want, it's just that they don't have trust, right? The trust is very important. So when we go out, we develop that trust with them, right? So we are here as servants of Prabhupada, we're trying to give something to them, correct? So best you say is, Hare Krishna, I'm so-and-so, I'm serving at ISKCON, like Normally we say, I am so and so. It's better to introduce, right? Where do you work, Prabhu?
I work with an ad agency.
Exactly. I work in so and so ad agency. What about you? Like he said. So develop that. You are like a gentleman, right? If you don't have identity, it's very difficult. Or you can say, I'm a monk in ISKCON Juhu, right? Or I'm a student, right? So if you develop that self-identity for yourself, then you can also connect with me. Like, or else I manage Purshotam stall at ISKCON Juhu, something like that, right? If you can develop that connection, he will be immediately, oh, okay, he's such an important person. So he will develop the relationship. So then we can say, normally, as soon as he sees, other person sees you, three things comes to his mind. Who is this guy? Why is here? What's in it for me? Three things you always remember. The other guy will think, who is this guy? Why is he here? What's in it for me? If you can clarify these three things, he'll be very happy. You should do it very fast. Who am I? I'm an engineer in ad agency, right? Why I'm here? I'm doing a voluntary service for this community. I'm here to distribute this Vedic knowledge. Like Bhima Prabhu nicely says, we are here to distribute this Vedic knowledge because there is a lot of things happening. This Vedic literature will help to reduce the crimes, whatever it is, right? So it depends on the person, right? If you can explain why you're here, he'll be very comfortable. You're not trying to sell things. And third thing is, like he was mentioning, what's in it for me? It helps you in a day-to-day life, right? Like it helps you in your life. If you can get that message, he'll be freed from the stress. Or else he'll be thinking, how much should I pay or how much should I give? The three things if you can establish, it's very easy. And also, like he was mentioning, we always like to see something good in his thing and appreciate. Like somebody will be wearing some tulasi mala, or whatever, he will be wearing some bindi. You look very spiritual. Or you're coming from temple. Oh, I go every Saturday to temple. If he can appreciate one thing good in his part, he will feel very happy, right? So these few things, when you go out and give these messages, he'll be very comfortable. And the most important thing is, once you develop the talkative, like you said, I'm so-and-so and so-and-so, then give the book on the hand. Because these books are very powerful. These are this will create other person purified, right? So as soon as he holds the books, he'll get the energy, right? And then you can talk, right? If you have the book on our hand and keep talking, it's very difficult. So keep on the book in the hand and after that you talk. It's very important. And also, the more things normally you develop the communication is that you ask question and they let them answer. That's more easy to hook up. That's the best way of communication. Like you ask a simple question, are you traveling today? Are you visiting ISKCON? Something which connects you. That makes him very connected. So once you develop that connection and a trust to him, then he will be very easy for him to take the books. So those are some of the things. And always remember that this whole Sankirtan, when you think about going out, you think that that these things will definitely help us to become humble in Krishna consciousness. And when we are in the streets, so we always get the energy and power of strength in serving Prabhupada. It's very important. Like you can see in ISKCON, a lot of devotees stayed back in the movement are mostly Sankirtan leaders who are distributing books all the time because they have this energy of mantra, right? Prabhupada's books. So when you give the books and when we develop the relationship, when you give the books and they'll ask, how much, and the fourth thing he immediately says is, how much should I pay? Like he was telling, right? So typically in India, it's very difficult. Donation means they'll say 10 rupees and they'll go away. We normally see that. And we say that this book cost is 150 rupees printing cost. We say that. And anything above you give, it goes to temple. So, and I normally say we also donate books to hospitals, colleges, and for only like people like you, we take money. So we say that such a way that they'll feel, okay, I have to give something more. Everybody has a technique, like Bhima Prabhu has a technique, he has a technique. But I'm saying you develop a technique which will attract the other person. You have to see the other person. So if we can appreciate that one attitude he has, then he always hooks up with you. So a few things I could say, and we should maybe do the practical demonstration now. How to do, we can form it 2 rows and do that.
So very quickly, like one line Prabhus and other line Prabhus facing each other. You stand and we'll give Bhagavad Gita, and you have to sell the Bhagavad Gita to other person, and then we'll do vice versa. Okay, are you ready? So as soon as maybe 5 minutes, you can stand and we'll have the Bhagavad Gita. And Matajis can do the same. You can face each other, like stand up and face each other. So that we will, the same mantras we follow, you have to be able to sell. Don't ask money questions. Keep it very favorable and simple, and keep money with you, and you can pass it on. So, okay, stand. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
And also after this 6:30, half an hour we are going to Juhu, just to see how it looks, whatever you heard. Just knock 5 people and come back. Like this is the instruction to Nityananda Mahaprabhu. We should go and knock 5 doors and come back. That's all our duty. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, just go 5 doors and come back. So if we go to the 5 people and just knock and come back, that's fine. If they don't take, both are mercy.
time we have to take questions?
15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay. You take that. Please, what's the general questions? Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji first.
Mostly Prabhuji, they say whenever you tell them take Bhagavad Gita, we have at home.
Okay, you can say, do you have Krishna book? And then say, if they say we have also Krishna book, and then you say we have Srimad Bhagavatam. You say Bhagavatam, then we have Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have so many books. You need to have books. That's what the second law of book distribution, right? The more the books you should have it, and then the more you show, the more you sell. That's one more law. So always carry books. And this is normal. Any Indian says. I also say sometimes, oh, you take this book and give it to your friend, or give it to your somebody who likes it.
Second question is, what I'll do with the so many books?
Okay, read.
I don't have time to read.
Okay, then you say I say generally, you read two translations per day. 2 translation. It will take one round, right? You do 6-7 minutes. Like that, you just spend 5 minutes and read one translation. And they say, even I don't have time for that. There people will say that just read one line, so that Kinchita Gita, Bhagavad Gita, right? And Shankaracharya quoted this. So you can tell them, but even they are not convinced, then they are not ripe fruit. So the question and answers will just, some people want to talk to you, they want to waste your time, so they will ask all kinds of questions. But you try, and at the end, if they don't like it, give them Prashadam. So that you can do, right? Say yes, Mataji.
One more thing we normally say is that these books are like Grantha avatars. It's like Krishna's incarnation. Keep at home. Right? There are deities at home. It will change your house. So we say that. And we also say that these are like time bombs. So you may not be able to read it. Your kids may be reading it. Your relatives may be coming and touching it. That all gives Sukriti. So these are like even like kids touching it every day. It's very auspicious, right? Krishna is there in their house.
Okay.
Tough questions. Normally when you go for book distribution, what are the tough questions?
Prabhuji, we come across questions like, okay, we are taking Bhagavad Gita, but why do we read it and how does it going to benefit us?
So that's why when we present the Bhagavad Gita, right, in front you said Mahatma Gandhi used to read it, and Martin Luther King Jr. So these are all people, but you can say who are related to Indian, like many saints used to read Bhagavad Gita. And so you no need to do any personality development. The Stephen Covey, who wrote 7 Habits of Successful People, right? So he all copied from Bhagavad Gita. So you should tell this Bhagavad Gita helps you personality development, what not, all the things which will help in their career growth. Some people are interested, I want to make my son as a collector or something. They have this material benefits, right? You teach Bhagavad Gita 1 shloka for your children. And you tell the benefits, and they will definitely appreciate it.
For Indians, you can show some shlokas. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, you can just show and ask them to read translation. Wherever Krishna and Arjuna is there, you get all very good. There's some shlokas, ripe shlokas, and normally pick those shlokas and show them. They read it themselves and they get convinced. For Indian shlokas are good.
Sometimes what happens, we do read books, okay, and we know the concept about it. So that's the reason why the questions keep coming up, that why do we keep reading again and again?
So, as I said, that's like they have to read again and again, because Bhagavad Gita is like a philosophy. So if you read it one time, you don't understand it. And then you need a teacher to understand Bhagavad Gita. So you can straight away tell them, and then they will say, where to get teacher? Come to our temple, ISKCON temple. We have many teachers, they can teach you. So, and basically they were at the short time interval, we cannot give everything. Basically you need to hand over the book and give them Prashadam as soon as possible. So they will take it and they will appreciate. These are the comebacks I am showing for Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam, there is 18 books, and they will ask all kinds of questions. But if I have time tomorrow, I can show you a little bit about this set presentation. But that's what you can tell. And and even though they say come back again, right? So I cannot read it. It's very complex. Actually, Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita is very, very simple than any complicated. Not only shlokas, word to word meaning is there. And we have an app, as Prabhu said, page by page BSH. In that app, you show them this many pages you can read, and this many, like, you make them comfortable basically by asking them. And also we should be a good listeners. If you still, I know all the shlokas, I'll tell in front of them, they are not in your level, and they are, they are not normal people, right? So you should go in their level and be listeners and listen to them. Like, some people say, I went to Himalaya, so that's great. You can go to Badrinath, like that. You just need to connect them. Okay.
More questions?
Prabhu having question. Your name, Prabhu? Yugal Kishore. Yugal. Okay.
So Prabhu, how do you remind yourself and build a conviction that you have to sell, you have to distribute Prabhupada's books?
Right.
It has to be an ongoing process.
Right.
What happens, sometimes it's only in the month of December that you generally mostly sell or distribute books.
Right.
So how do you remind yourself every day?
So
that you get into that enthusiastic mood.
So he is enthusiastic to give.
Take association of Bhima Prabhu.
So
it's easy.
So rightly said, take association of senior devotees like Bhima Prabhu. And also when we go out, right, it's not, Krishna will personally back up you. It's not that we are doing. You just go out, touch the payment and come back. Right? So you be in that mood, and that's why Bhima Prabhu said goals. You keep a goal, from today I'll distribute at least one book per day till 1 month. So the book will happen even if you don't do it, some days it doesn't happen, but somehow that you find a person who can take that book. So you keep that goal with you, keep that, so you should not get sleep, that much fire should be there in your heart.
Sometimes you have a mental block,
Yes.
It's just you have to step out there and distribute the books. But
Exactly.
Because of the mental block, sometimes you don't even endeavor to go out.
Right. That's
How
why
do you overcome that?
there is a remote here. You turn it off. The switch button, sir, whatever it may be, I just go and touch the payment today. And take some devotees. Don't go alone. Haridas Thakur, Nityanand Prabhu, they used to go door to door together. It's tough to go individually because our mind is wandering here and there. Why I have to do? I always, generally when I go on the flights, while I'm coming today, distributed 3 books on the flight, Bhagavad Gita, scary books. And one lady wrote to me a testimonial. She works in Singapore Airlines. She said, I am taking so many flights. I'm restless. And thank you for giving me this Bhagavad Gita. I am reading now in the hotel. So people will definitely, as I said, this is the time bombs, as he mentioned, it will blow off any time. So, but you should keep on continue the enthusiasm, utsaha should be there for Sankirtan, And once you are out with one devotee at least, you will definitely be succeeded. Even you just try, what's not, you can try, right? There is a saying in English, fake it and make it. If you don't fake it, you never make it, so. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, there are 2 more questions. Hare Krishna.
What if someone comes up and says that, with due respect to the book of Lord Krishna, what if someone comes up and says that with the advent of technology we have all this available in terms of apps so we can download and read it, why do I go for the book? If someone poses up that way, what do we do with that kind of scenario?
Very good question, Prabhu. Usually that's a great, lot of people come back, we have a e-book reader, Amazon. So what I'll do is, recently they made a survey. In that survey, how long you will keep up the concentration when you read on internet. So WhatsApp comes, pop-up, or Facebook comes, and you usually distract. And when you read a book, the power of reading in a hand, that will have a lot of impact. The book scales are still, a lot of people still read books. And we grew up by reading, by books. And now this internet age, but they cannot focus. Even we cannot focus. What talk about others, right? You cannot just read vedabase.com, go and you continuously cannot read it because for me I don't get it if you read like that. Of course, when you're traveling you can read like that, but this is a statistics recently drawn in internet. Maximum is 6 minutes you can focus on one thing. So this is done by the great universities like Stanford, Berkeley, like that. And you cannot focus more than 6 or 7 minutes. So this thing you say and they will be satisfied. Thank you. Very good question.
We also say that we give compliment the e-copies when you take this book.
Yeah.
It's free, you can download. So that's one more thing they can take it.
So Prabhu, your name, Prabhu? Your name, yes.
Anantarup Gaurdas.
Hare Krishna.
Sometimes they say, I am a student, I already have so many books to study, I am not able to complete that, so how can I take this?
So usually, as I said to Mataji, I always say just read translation, 3 translations per day. And or 1 translation per day, 1 shloka per day. So then they will be happy. And if students, right, you try to give them a small books initially. Like, Ishopanishad, Perfection of Yoga, Path to Yoga, the Raja Vidya. There are many small books, right? You try to give that books, and later on you can introduce to Bhagavad Gita. Actually, you tell them Krishna gives you more time if you take these books. So like that, Krishna gives everything except time, If he gives time, then he have to come and serve you, like that. So this Kali Yuga, Prabhu, they will come back with many things. But students especially, I say, and also you tell this is a student price, and you give a discount. As Bhima Prabhu mentioned, Shastradan, what is it called, Prabhu, here? Vidyadan. So we have a Vidyadan, why can't you take it and give whatever donation you like to give? So even they give for a small book 10-20 rupees, it can cover through the Vidyadan. Is that okay? Thank you. Okay, we are ready to go out, looks like. Okay, Prabhu is having next.
Sometimes people say that if you will reduce the cost, at least, like if you say that 110, then he said this is 100, and for 10 rupees he do not take books. So how to convince them?
I know by dollars, but I want to say.
No, actually, when people start, typically when you start the discussion, we don't say it's 150 rupees. Say that printing cost is 150 rupees. It's straight from the press. Okay? Then they will say, can I give it 100 rupees? He said, if you give 100 rupees, 50 rupees I have to give from my pocket. I can give my phone, please take it. Normally they don't do it, typically. So this is what I do, like when they say it's, when we give the book, you say this is 150 rupees the printing cost. Anything above it goes to temple. Normally they don't argue. If they say I have only 100 rupees, some people they have 100 rupees. I normally give it, and somebody give you 200 or 500. That's how we balance this. Because it's good to ask donation instead of the cost, but it depends on the place also. So what I do is, you give 100 rupees, but I can give from my pocket. That's fine. So they won't do that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, if you can definitely say this is cost 150 rupees, and so basically you already gave the enough information to them, and they laughed at you and they are happy with you, and all this connection happened, right? Then you say the price part, and they will be very comfortable if you say. And usually if you go to Amazon.com, any internet sites, they sell more than 250 rupees. Flipkart, they sell for 200 rupees. But ISKCON is about education. We are more into education. We don't construct huge temples. We want to have this education to go to the people. And the people will say this preservation of Vedic knowledge. We are preserving this Vedic knowledge by mass distribution. That's why we are giving to you. And please help us by just 150 rupees. They will definitely take it. If still he argues with you, then he is not a ripe fruit. Right? So he is more attached to money. Then you give a small book, that's okay. Science of self-realization. Like that. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have a question that when we are going on signals,
yes.
Now this is personal interaction when a person is meeting a person.
Right.
On signal, you have limited time period.
Correct.
Of couple of seconds in hand.
Right.
And you have to meet every car who is standing over there.
Right.
How to build up that personal relation in a very short span of time.
Right. Usually what I do in signals, we pile up the books in a small cart, like it's a trolley kind of thing. And the signal, everybody watching at you because I am in this dress, and this guy is something doing it. And I quickly say, in that 30 seconds, these are books we have about yoga to everybody with loud voice. And because it's signal noisy and people will just look at you. And then as soon as signal opens up, right, some people will come and stay back and take the book and go. So, and if you can, if you have many devotees, right, like for example 10 devotees in the signal, you can go individually and talk very quickly. So, and don't tell all the stories and everything, and just tell whatever required, just have the connection initially. You are from, so and so from Maharashtra, okay. Gnaneshwar used to read Bhagavad Gita, and you can quote Srila Prabhupada, they knows like that. And keep it very short. And if they are very interested, they will stay back if even the signal jumps 5 times, right? So, you got it? Okay, thank you.
My question is that there are people who are new, like I'm very new here. So, because I have not read all the books, I feel somehow there is this, if I go and tell people, whatever books I have read, I feel very nice about it. But what about other books? If I go and try to sell them or distribute them, I feel that even I have not read them. So it doesn't appear right to me just to try and say that these are great books, even though I am not aware of what is inside them. So how do you deal with it? Like you said, you fake it and make it, but then your consciousness
So Bhagavatam, especially cover to cover, many devotees may read it, but with the purports, we have to read it again and again. What I am trying to say is, if you, so there are, Prabhupada wrote 100 books, right? That everybody read not book cover to cover, right? So at least you tried, you made an attempt. And then if you cannot just stay in that cocoon, that saying that I didn't read all the books, I don't go. But that's wrong. Because Prabhupada, when he's having only 100 disciples, or Prabhupada used to have 5,000 disciples. Prabhupada when Prabhupada said, you read the initial, maybe Bhima Prabhu can comment, he said, I have volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam in English, even the first volume or 2 volumes came out. Prabhupada said 30 volumes, like that, so Prabhupada have that strong conviction. And there is also, Prabhupada used to say, those who live near railway station, they miss the train all the time. You understood? Because they know everything, but they don't take it. They don't take it seriously. But what I'm trying to say is, when you just try, that's okay, you'll definitely read it. And I'm not saying we should not read. I'm saying you should read and at the same time try to distribute. And make an attempt that we have that page by page sage, right? So the app, you can have a goal, I'll read 2 pages Bhagavatam, and you are attempting. If you say Bhagavatam, I'll read next 1 year and after that you can distribute, but it won't happen. Even you read, again you have to read. Bhagavatam is Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. You do Nityam, right? Like that. So, and for new people, we cannot tell all the philosophy. Give them prasadam, make them friends and connect with them like that. So that is very important. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Any person could die at any moment. That person that you're talking to could cross the street and get hit by a car. So you're thinking that I don't want to distribute because I don't know everything. But that guy could use this opportunity to make advancement in spiritual life. Anybody who's even touched a book or saw the book or approached by a devotee, he may take or he may not take it, but his life has changed. He's entered into devotional service just by that interaction with the book. So you benefited him and you benefited yourself, because we understand the books because Paramatma enlightens us within the heart about this knowledge. It's not something that's academic. I got 100 points on the test. Not like that. But Krishna enlightens the devotee within the heart. So when he sees that you're trying to sell the book, he enlightens you, and that person is also. Actually, Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master told him, you try to, spread this message to the English-speaking people. That will be good for you, and it will be good for them.
So I just want to add what Bhima Prabhu said. Bhashugosh Prabhu told me one time that he went to one of the Udupi Mutt, Pejavur Swami, the Pitadipati. He asked, do you want me to read Shastra all the time, or do you want me to go out and preach? He said, go out and preach. There are very less people are doing that. Like, in this room we maybe hardly have maybe 100 devotees. But how, I'm not comparing, but this Gideon Bible, the Christians, they're training. Every second when we are talking, they are doing 8 or I don't know the numbers. It's in my how many books there are, millions of books they are doing. And we are not comparing with them, but I'm just saying, as a Sanatan Dharma follower, if we can preach, Krishna will be very happy. So like that. Thank you. Some Prabhu raised there. Okay.
Have we, as devotees, ever approached bookshops like Crossword Bookstore and all? And why don't we have a kind of a small stall of Bhagavad Gita as it is in such bookstores? Granth, Crossword.
Yeah, the books have been put on Crosswords and on Amazon, and way back, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he put up a book display in India Book House downtown. I'm talking about 1976 or something. So the books were in the display case down in Fountain for about a week. And then Gopal Krishna Maharaj came back to Srila Prabhupada to give a report. So he said, Srila Prabhupada, we couldn't sell many books. They were in the India Book House display, but we couldn't sell. And Prabhupada said, yes, that's because our books sell by the enthusiasm of our devotees. So we go back to, it's the strict sadhana, it's the interpersonal reaction, it's Paramatma within that person's heart, reciprocating with your desire to give the person Krishna consciousness. Look, Srila Prabhupada went to the West. He preached to young people that were interested in drugs, illicit sex, meeting and gambling. That was their life. But he somehow or another convinced them to give it all up and come to Krishna consciousness. Why? Because Paramatma within the heart of those persons made them become devotees due to reciprocating with Srila Prabhupada's sincere desire for them to become devotees. So it's a matter of our sincerity, and we can boost that by having strict sadhana, reading the books, etc., and Paramatma will reciprocate with us. It didn't work in Crossroads. We sold some books, but a bestseller in India today is any book that sells 10,000 copies, bestseller. But 10,000 copies is peanuts. The Delhi Temple sells 300,000 Hindi Bhagavad Gitas in 1 month. 300,000. So if you tell a publisher those kind of figures, they just go, huh? So Amazon, Crossroads, they're small timers. We have a bigger job to do. We've got to reach 1 billion people here in India. You saw the quote, Prabhupada said every gentleman should have Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita at their house. We can't mess around with Amazon. They're too slow. But we do have the books on Amazon. They're there. They were on Crossroads.
So there are many bookshops where our books are there, but very popular bookshops like Crossword, they want a very big margin. And if they take our books and they put a big margin compared to temple stall, they say no, you are selling at less price in your temple, so nobody will buy from us. So they want us a very less margin. So Anantil Prabhu, VBT manager, he has come out with some titles which are not sold at temple bookstore. They are sold only at places like Crosswords. So those books which are from Prabhupada teachings, they are sold there. They are not available at temple stores, right?
Yeah, it meets their margins. They have certain fixed margins that they want to have. So we followed all of that and put the books in the bookshop, and some sold. But it's not like our devotees going out and selling books. The numbers just don't add up. So we've done that, we've tried it, but the books sell by the enthusiasm and the spiritual Shakti of the devotees. Bina Krishna Shakti nahi Thakarvarti. Without the mercy of Krishna, without the Shakti of Krishna, one can't spread the Krishna consciousness movement.
We approached prison ministry. They have we are keeping Bhagavad Gitas in prison houses, hospitals, and also motels. We have 200,000 Bhagavad Gitas from our temple in California. We placed all over the America. So all they call motels, here they call motels. So in each and drawer they have a Bhagavad Gita and they have a Bible. So you can do research with the Sankirtan leader and here, and then you can connect. The more the merrier, So you can do the background work, contacting these hotel owners. Can you please a copy? And it will increase your sales. You will become a rich man. They will happily keep the model Gitas in there. So you can contact them. Okay. Okay, last question.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु, हम जब बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए जाते हैं तो अक्सर मोस्टली लोग यही बोलते हैं जो भगवत गीता में पार्ट आते का जो प्रिंट लगा हुआ प्रिंट है फर्स्ट वो देख के लोग बोलते हैं ये किसने देखा है, तो उनको कैसे समझाना
चाहिए? So he's asking that when we distribute books, we show them the Bhagavad Gita, and on the cover page there is this photograph of Parthasarathi, Krishna and Arjuna on the chariot. So they ask, who has seen this? How do we know it's true? So what to say to such people?
Right. You can say multiple things, Prabhu. If somebody died in America, somebody died and they're showing in the television, is it happened or not happened? Is it happened right now? You see, right? You see on the television that's happened, and they are like a Doordarshan. It is happening, but this is there from past 5,000 years, and Krishna is there, and our entire tradition is following this. And if you say it doesn't happen, then it's like is muda, right? The person is in ignorance. But you should not say you are ignorant. You say that okay, this has happened. This happened. We say we are seeing something which already happened. Like for example, baby grows in the womb, right? You don't need to pediatricians. Right now, maybe you can translate it. They are able to see by after 3 months. But Vyasadeva saw from the day one in the Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto. If you read, he predicted how baby borns, and he wrote in everything in the leaf plates. And right now, the people they are all going back to our old tradition, and it's you need to make them scientific reasons. These are the things are already there. Earlier they said Pluto, one of the planet is there. Now Pluto is not there, and these all scientific people, they don't have any knowledge and they just make these decisions. And as you give the Shastra Praman, these are the things are there. For example, Ram shot an arrow on a demon called Marichi, right? So in 600 yojanas in the ocean he went and fall. Marichi become Mauritius, the place. When Lord Ram descended the Lava and Kusha, right? He made this earth planet as two Lava and Kusha as two parts. He gave one part to Lava and one part to Kusha. One of our devotee went to Armenia. Is it South America? Armenia. Is it in South America?
No.
Okay.
Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe. So he went there and he presented a Ramayana book to the king there. King said, we are already descendant of Kusha. So we don't need Ramayana. I know already Ramayana. Like what I am trying to say is there are many Shastric evidence are there. You can present it to them in a Shastra format. If we cannot understand, that means you just give the prasadam to him. Right? So there will be a lot of people you meet. Everybody doesn't take Gita. If everybody takes Gita, our sales will be super high, right? There will people will say no. That's why we are in Kali Yuga, right? So you just look for other person. That's what I would say. Is it helpful? Okay.